Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back down here in Porchville. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing a lot better than last weekend. I have recovered.
Welcome back to this side of the living, man.
Yeah, it only took about 7 days, but I got there.
Well, we were wondering for a while. It was pretty touching.
Yeah.
PorchvillePod.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go over wherever it is you listen to your podcast. Hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends. And make them listen. We are here for a very special show. This is only the second time we've had a band here in Porchville, and it didn't go too well for the band afterwards. With the first band, that shall remain nameless, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but these guys are on the upswing, so I don't think we got to worry about that same.
Yeah, these guys.
Because if they fail
on.
after this, then it kind of looks like it's sort of somehow our fault.
Oh, it's like a curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it, guys. You're good.
Apex.
You guys going to the top.
Apex is the name of the band. We've got Andy, Christian, Joseph, Joey.
Either's fine.
Either, honey. Kyle, how you guys doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Welcome to Porchville.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. Andy, I've known you for a while.
Yeah.
You and I, we played together for like a week.
Yeah.
We were sort of in a band together.
That was actually we just practiced last night, and I was telling these guys about it. Over at Brian Waz's storage unit over there, and I pulled up in the Vet, he pulled up in the Lambo, and then we jammed on his giant kit for a good amount of time. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was good times. And now you've come together with these guys here.
Yes, love these guys.
Yeah.
More like I came together when they were already together.
Yeah.
Oh, were you the final piece of the puzzle?
That was so it's kind of a interesting. We're sort of scavenged from a previous band, I guess you could say. We met that way. We were going to go into that, and then when it ended, we kind of splintered off, started our own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it just happened.
Wait, did we?
Right?
Did we hit? I think the button might have got hit. Is his on? There's a button on top of that.
Uh-oh.
It might have gotten flipped to off somehow.
See, I'm a drummer. I don't know how to. Oh, there it is.
No, up at the top. There you go. You might have to roll it around a little bit. There's a switch on there.
In fact, it's a little.
Yep. See it? See the red light? There it is. There it is. Oh.
It's actually a little serendipitous.
Testing. Hey, there it is.
Christian, how are you?
Hey, good to finally join you guys. How's it going?
Just so everybody knows, in case you couldn't tell, that was the drummer.
Boom, boom, boom. We are vocally challenged when it comes to mics.
Well, and I've been in a band for a little while, some years back. So, you're bound to take some heat as a drummer being here, because that's what we do. I mean, we got to bust your balls a little bit. One of the best jokes, what do you call a drummer that does not have a girlfriend? Anybody?
Bass player.
Homeless.
Oh.
Luke used to hate that fucking joke.
Can't imagine why.
We told it all the time. So how do you fit into this this band here? What's your story, man?
Well, so what I was going to say, it was an interesting way that we ended up getting together as a band, because I had been playing with Joseph through another band. We were playing with Kings of Awesome for a while.
Okay.
Couple of years, awesome project. And then,
Joseph think we
started
played with Kings of Awesome at one point with
Yeah.
Hollow Days.
In fact, I went and watched both you guys play.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like,
I was an asshole.
I definitely remember you being an asshole. No.
See?
Well, it made friends.
He was there. That's how I know he was the fucking
Made
there.
friends.
He ain't bullshitting.
But yeah, I mean, we were connected with Andy through mutual friend, coworker of
I will
ours.
say, serendipitously, it was at the Mexican place down the
Uh-huh.
road. So we had it's National Tequila Day today. So we had it. We met over some margaritas.
Nice.
That, man. And randomly decided, hey, Andy's a great guitar player. We are always down to jam. Let's go meet up at Andy's garage sometime randomly, and just see what happens, you know. And so Joseph and I, we joined him over there for a day. We jammed on a few of Andy's riffs. which, funny enough, ended up forming the basis for a couple of our current songs.
Right.
But this was a little while ago. I mean, this was a year, 2 years.
Yeah, you guys have
more
been
than
putting
that.
stuff out there for a
I
little
know,
while. So
So it was about 2.5 years ago. But we've only been playing live since September of last year.
right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a little bit of a
couple
slow
breaks
start.
here and there.
But yeah, we played with you in your garage, and then shortly after, we kind of, we were playing in this other band, No Comply, and at the time our guitar player was leaving, and so I knew Andy was a fantastic guitar player, so we had wanted him to join the band after our guitar player left, and so complications, and that band ended up breaking up, and then shortly after I was like, hey, we need to form a project
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
the
let's
No
make that
Comply vocalist,
Right.
who is Caleb.
With Caleb, who could not make it, unfortunately. We miss you, Caleb.
Love you, Caleb.
I was looking forward to hearing all the wisdom that fellow singers like to impart on the world. That's
The kind of
no, it's full of shit,
And
man. We
instead you're
we're
stuck with
just
the
we're
drummer.
just talking shit. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about half the time.
how to properly use a mic.
At least you guys know how to use
Stroke
one.
the shaft.
So Joseph, how many strings are on your fucking bass guitar?
Just six right
Six.
now.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know until I saw you playing. I didn't even know 6 strings were on a bass.
Hell yeah.
Jesus. Is it higher, lower? Like what? How does
It's
that
extra
work?
low, extra high string.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
There's some 7-string basses that have it's like a full spectrum of like a 7-string guitar. So B, E, A, D, G, B, E, and
That's
I
impressive.
played that a little bit, and I was like, I'm done with that. Too many strings for me.
So where did you start in all this? How long you been playing bass?
So I've been playing bass since high school.
Where'd you go to high school? Here?
Lecanto High School in it's close to Crystal River area.
Oh, okay.
Right, the
So
Gulf Coast.
you're from this area then?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
Cool.
grew up in Florida most of my life.
Right on.
So yeah, I started playing in about sophomore year of high school, and I didn't start playing in bands until shortly after college.
Yeah.
So I started playing in Kings of Awesome. Casey knew me from he worked at the music store in Ocala, and
Yeah.
so he knew me as a bass player, and he would come over to my dad played guitar, and so he would come over and jam with my dad and see my dad's band. So he knew me through that, and so he offered me one day, hey, we're looking for a bass player, you want to play? And started playing with him, and just you start meeting people,
Right.
and one band after the other, and you get to where you are now.
Yeah.
So.
So what is it about the makeup that we have here? I'm gonna ask Kyle this. Kyle, what is it about this 4 that is gonna be the recipe for success? What is it about it?
We have 4 different people with different backgrounds coming together, and that's, I think, what's most intriguing about Apex in general is you have, like I said, 4 different people coming from different backgrounds that have all kinds of different musical tastes and musical interests and things like that. So
The
you
different
know,
experiences,
yes.
the different life experiences of everybody, combined. I find that to be a very important part.
I
That's
will say
awesome.
that the technical capabilities of every member in the group is something that's been
Oh man,
pretty refreshing from other bands.
I got to tell you, it's insane watching you guys. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a 4-4 fucking straight down the middle. Andy
there's
knows
nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Andy knows that. I love that just easy stuff because I can't wrap my brain around a lot of the really technical stuff. It's very hard for me.
It's nice to have that in your like repertoire.
Yes.
You got to start with the groove. So if you have that groove,
Right.
then,
Well, and that's what I noticed was I think you posted a video yesterday of because most of the stuff I've heard from you guys has been live, very technical type of stuff, and I heard something that you guys were working on, just bass and drums, and it was just fucking riding, man. It sounded so.
The death of jazz.
Was that yesterday?
Was badass. That was fucking
Jeez.
awesome.
Joseph doesn't remember yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Practice.
Too many drinks. Been practice. I was getting too excited.
No food plus 3 drinks.
Right.
Joseph means don't remember them.
Three? That's it.
No, it was more than that for
Okay.
sure.
All right.
Heavy pour.
3.
3 gigantic drinks.
I knew I was gonna like Joseph.
Stumbling to the bedroom at midnight.
Right.
I will say, though, I'm a lot like you and Nick in the sense that I sort of came from more of a 4/4 area in the previous bands that I was in Validus and during Atlas.
Oh, yeah. Was that sort of restrictive for you, though?
Not yes and no. In a way, I kind of welcomed it because then it made it a lot easier to play within the box, per se.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to think about it, so you could move around a lot more and pay more attention to the, the other aspects of performance. I will say I've learned a lot when it comes to trying to, have different odd time signatures and things like that with these guys that I did not explore previously.
Really?
I love that.
To the point where I've actually started writing my own in like odd time signatures, and I'm enjoying it when I can get it. It takes a little bit, but it's fun. It's nice because there's always room for improvement. And you can always be learning things.
There's the growth element in that. You can always be learning something different, and if you're with a group of guys that challenge you constantly, which I do definitely feel that way.
Yeah.
You end up exploring more things that you didn't think you would be able to play in a band. So that's really exciting for me.
Are you talking about maybe doing a cover of a Beyonce song?
We already did.
Yeah, they already did.
I know. I know.
Freakum dress.
He watched that. I had not seen that.
I was just sitting there
that.
scrolling on YouTube, just looking up some of your guys' songs, and I was just like, no fucking way. They did Beyonce?
Yeah, watching RuPaul's Drag Race too much, and that song came on. And I was like, that's a metal song. There's no way that can't be a metal song.
I like that the video starts out with just like, I'm pretty sure this song was actually written about me and about my hair, and he puts his hair back.
I mean, Caleb has some luscious locks.
He definitely does.
God damn
I was
it.
hoping that he'd be
Glorious.
here so I could ask him like what kind of conditioner he uses. Like,
I'm
I have
so
that girl in my
jealous.
hair
We're
up.
still trying to figure it out.
I'm jealous.
His hair is surprisingly super soft, like a feather.
Just rub it
Yeah,
in,
it
man.
looks
What the fuck?
soft. It looks beautiful. That's why I wanted to ask him about like what kind of product he uses.
Oh, it just takes milk baths.
Yeah, probably.
Songs, you get lost in there,
It is also like a super low tuning too.
His locks or the song?
Both, but yeah, no, the Beyonce cover that we do.
Yeah, it's definitely an odd tuning because we normally tune drop C, but this one you have to drop that lower string down.
I like
another
the
half
drop
step.
C because we did the last incarnation of Hollow Days. We did a drop C thing with buddy Dave Rivenbark. He came back in for a little while, became a 5-piece for a little while. Did one show, spent a year, did one show. It was all drop C material though, and I loved the vocal range that came with it. It was so wide open. It felt so wide open. Whereas before, I mean, I wasn't doing anything really that I hadn't done before, but I just loved the ability to. Felt like I had so much room to play around. It's awesome. So
Yeah, we feel the same way. Most of our songs are either the whole step down or drop C. We have a few songs that are A flat, which is like it's a 7-string guitar and it's half step down on a 7-string, and then you tune the lowest string down a whole step. So you like drop D, the lowest string. So it's like A flat. But
Man,
we don't have a lot of songs like that yet.
that's why I'm the singer, man. Because I don't know what the hell he just said.
It's really
I
low.
caught part of it, but
You ever listen to Periphery?
no.
No, Periphery. Oh, definitely look 'em up.
I know I've heard it. I
All
know
right.
that I've heard it, but
A lot of their
I
tunings
couldn't-
are A flat, or a lot of the songs are in A flat.
A flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
That's
soon we'll
insane.
need like Caleb to start learning Gregorian monk chants or something to get that low.
I mean, it's not off the table, we're willing to explore.
Bring
He's
out my
definitely
didgeridoo.
he's
Yeah.
definitely getting there though.
Christian, where are you from?
So I'm born and raised in Florida, South
Yeah.
Florida, close to Miami, East Coast.
How'd you wind up in Gainesville from Miami?
Went to school here at UF.
Yeah, just
know?
and it sucked you in, just
Yeah,
like the rest of
and
it.
I
I didn't
haven't
go to
left,
school,
you
but
know?
it just sucked me in. Town of Gainesville, man. I don't know what it was.
No, you get here and you meet these people. You start
Yeah.
playing some music. You get involved in the Gator Nation, which I was never all
Go
very
Gators.
super go Gators. Never really got into the full spirit, but hey, there's
Oh,
this
we're
Gator
we're
pride
die
there,
hard
so-
here. I got
Yeah.
special
really.
lights on game
that's
day.
fantastic,
It's fucking
dude.
insane around here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we have a game day.
Right.
Oh,
That's a
Jesus
stretch for
Christ!
sure.
We'll have one
not looking
eventually.
away.
Eventually, I'm hoping. How was all this stuff? I mean, you guys were getting out there doing shows, and it seemed like you were starting to pick up how many shows you were doing. Seeing a lot more advertisements, and then COVID takes and drops the bottom out of
Everybody,
everything.
yeah.
I know Pat over at the High Dive. He's trying to get everybody right in saveourstages.com to try to make sure these venues get open back up after the fact. But how is what have you guys been doing? Any live streams? What's going on with you guys? How are you getting through COVID?
So I know it did unfortunately pop up when we pretty much played sort of the biggest show that we had at Winter's End Festival on the 14th of March in Ocala at O'Malley's Alley.
Yeah.
And Caleb actually runs that whole event. And it was great. It was tons of fun. It was,
timing was right on the cusp of that COVID stuff.
And the next thing you know, all of a sudden we're in lockdown and, everybody's going through their issues. But we practiced a little bit here and there. We decided to err on the side of caution before, more information and everything came out.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't actually get together at all for a while. And as I was mentioning before, we were, we just did a show for High Dive, actually. You were talking about Pat. Their very first live stream ever. It went very successfully.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Trying to raise money to help keep these local venues open because, if
do you
not,
know?
Where do we play?
Are they doing a thing where you can go back and watch it after the fact, or is it only up there while they're?
So it
while
was
they're
up there.
streaming?
It was on the website noonchorus.com. It was on there for a while, and that's where they're streaming all of their live shows right now.
And what? Give me that site again.
Noonchorus.com.
Noonchorus.com. Okay.
Yep. So they have their future shows on there right now that you can purchase tickets and view whatever shows they have. They have tons of different types of shows, not just metal shows and stuff on there.
Which we'll be playing that again on the 15th of August.
It was a really great
so
experience.
Enjoyable. He invited us back, and we figured why not? Anything we can do to help his cause.
The video and the audio was really good. Actually, the audio sounded the best it's ever sounded in a live recording.
That's what Andy was saying. We were talking about it briefly before we started, and he said it was just remarkably good, which is amazing for live streaming.
Yeah, we were pretty impressed. The vocals were just right out there in the front, and you could hear it above everything. Balance
Right
was
where
great
they
with
belong,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
Definitely.
Somebody tell Joe Herschel that.
We're always struggling to hear the vocalist. Always during live shows.
Dude, it wasn't even it was good for the first time. No, that was beautifully produced, and everything came out clearly. All the parts came out clearly. The video was solid quality, and I really appreciated how they pulled everything together as well, because they were also very cautious. They were very good about keeping the bands with enough distance from each other, keeping
cleaning
it
the
safe,
stage.
We felt very comfortable throughout the whole thing and very safe through it. And it was just one hell of a fun night.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I'm super excited for the next one.
Yep.
Like, I hope to do plenty more of these, streaming live shows. They're a lot
Hell
of
yeah.
fun.
So what's the plan then? What's the plan? 5-year plan. What are we doing here?
Album, please.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
sort
that
of the
soon.
most pending thing
Yeah.
right now, and it's kind of, again, it's
But it's
working out time-wise, I guess.
Apparently, it's a lot easier than it used to be. I mean, how old are you, Andy?
How old am I?
You're probably
I
about
just turned 34
you're
on
just
Tuesday.
34 Tuesday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Thank
by
you,
the way.
Thank you.
I just turned 34 on the 17th.
Oh, look at
Oh
that.
my God!
Hey, happy birthday.
Birthday buddies.
Yeah, birthday buddies.
So, as you've gone through this musical journey, kind of like when I was coming up, CDs were where it was at. You had to get out there and make a CD. You know. Nowadays, though, do you have to make a CD? I mean, it's changed.
I don't think you necessarily have to, but if you don't, you are still alienating like a decent portion of your potential audience by doing so, because there are still people that do hold on to that. I think sort of the realization of that for me, though, was when I bought a car and I went to go play a CD and it didn't even have a slot for a CD.
Which car was this, Andy?
Shit. That was the Camaro I had before this.
Before this, tell everybody what you got.
It's
What
just
do
a
you got?
Corvette Z51.
Just a Corvette.
Yeah.
Listen to this fucking. Just a Corvette. Oh,
I am so happy I
my
didn't try to
baby.
take a drink of whiskey before you said that, because you would have all been wearing it.
It's just one of the sexiest cars ever.
it's fucking amazing for
beautiful.
crying out loud. I
It
mean,
used to be my favorite part of the day was driving to and from work, but I was working from home, so I was go around the block on lunchtime.
Oh,
But no, it's definitely changed. I know like I've been playing live since I just saw it the other day, which is why I remember the date. It was August 28th, 2008. Was the first time that I ever played like a live show with Validus, my original band.
Really?
Yeah, we were around for. In fact, we played with Holidays.
Yeah, we played at Eddie C's.
Yeah, and then there was that venue that it eventually became Liger,
Liger?
It became Neon Liger. It used to play.
The
I think it was Sidebar. Yeah.
Sidebar. That was my jam, dude.
We played like one of the last shows there before it closed down.
I drank so much tequila in that place, and I don't drink tequila. It was a fucked up night. Some guy, we got off stage. Guy comes over. He says, "You guys are fucking amazing, man. I'm gonna get your logo tattooed on my arm."
Oh my God.
And we were like, "All right, man."
Good decisions.
And he says, "I'm going to buy you all some tequila shots." Okay, man. And we kept loading off our gear. We start loading out, and we walk by this table, and the guy's like, "Hey, Al, come here, come here." The whole table. You remember the Sidebar tables? They're like that big around. That big around, right?
They were huge.
Whole table full of little plastic cups. This guy had filled this table with fucking tequila shots.
Jeez.
Joe and I, we sat there. We probably did like 8. And I remember picking one up, and then it went that way because my wife was like, "No!" And then she got me to the car, and that was the morning I woke up naked with my cowboy boots on in the bathtub, I think, or something like that.
That was a good night.
Good night.
It was an interesting evening. That was about as far as I remember it, though. So I believe it was a similar story for Joe. So.
Yeah.
Did the guy get that tattoo?
I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to fucking find my shoes after that night. I was
No regrets.
I have no idea what happened to that guy.
Call out to the guy.
Call out, yeah. Fuck, if you went and got our tattoo, I don't know. I got nothing for you anymore.
I guarantee you, he did not wake up the next morning saying, "Yeah, I'm going to get that tattoo."
I do think I told him like, "Oh, if you get the tattoo, you can get in every Hollow Days show for free forever." So, yeah, I'll honor that.
There you go.
That's about the best I can do at this point. So,
But I do think it's good though, because I will say one of the advantages that we have nowadays is the connectivity.
Yeah.
Podcasts.
Yeah.
Online, band pages, websites,
Oh, yeah.
where fans, such as that guy, can directly contact you if they want to, and it allows a greater connectivity than we've ever had with those people.
yeah.
And it gives you just a platform that you can, promote yourself that used to not be available. You used to only be able to know literally the local bands in your area,
Right.
just from word of mouth, and that was it.
Yep.
Now we can get artwork done from some guy in Thailand. We can, play with a band from New York that they saw our Facebook page or something, and
Right.
they come down and, we played with at the Ocala show at Rawhide.
Nomadic?
Oh,
Yeah.
Drowning Pool.
Drowning
Drowning
Pool. We
Pool.
just played
Yeah,
with
we played
them
with Drowning Pool in
in
February.
December.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's one of the venues that's not going to make it
Oh,
out of this COVID
really?
situation, so
Yeah.
they're closing down.
Fuck.
But yeah, just that ability to as a platform that we have nowadays with social media and everything, it makes getting your music out there a lot easier, where CDs aren't necessarily needed.
Yeah.
But you still have, you got all the old school,
Yeah.
analog
Yeah.
type people, and obviously it's a better sound and a
Yeah.
compressed MP3 and all this, but so keep the option open, but it's no longer required.
I think
guess.
there's a good portion of people that like physical copies of things that they can hold and look at.
Oh, yeah.
I know that I'm one of those
Agreed.
people. I love vinyl. I love
Same.
CDs, and
Yep.
I like being able to hold music in
Yeah.
my hand. So
I'm a notes kind of guy. I always like opening up the CD
yeah,
pages and
Yeah.
reading the shit inside.
looking at the
you know.
pictures or something
I
like
remember the first time I opened up the Appetite for Destruction cover. I was like, "What the fuck?"
that. Right.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has not done that, but I recommend going and seeing the interior artwork of Appetite for Destruction. So it was eye-opening at 9 or 10 when I
Oh, there
fucking
you go.
saw it. It was like, wow. So yeah, I've been a fan ever since.
Of what's inside or of the album?
Well, both. Both. So obviously, getting an album done. What does that look like, though? I mean, are you just do a couple songs, put full length?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've toyed with the idea of putting out maybe a 2 or 3 song EP, or just a demo or something like that we can do in the short term to get people, hey, here's this at
You guys,
if we do ever have people at our live shows.
are you able to do that yourself, or is that you got to go in studio do that? Or
We have some contacts that might be able to do something like that for us. Chris Riles in Ocala, he's pretty popular around that area.
Yeah.
He started doing a recording thing with Mix House Productions, and so he was saying that he would like to do something with us, and that's an avenue that we could explore for sure if we wanted to. I know that me personally, I would like a full length album.
Yeah.
All of the songs that we've been working on, even some that we have yet to work on right now, included have sort of like a sealed. This is a moment in our time. Like the 2 years that we spent
Right.
together, the first 2 years or 3 years. This is the entire package of what we worked on, and here it is solidified, and then we can close that chapter and open another one for
Is
the
that
next album.
do they all relate in any way or anything like that? Is it sort of like a
They do actually.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that as we were writing songs, we were not really, realizing it. But after about 6 or 7 songs, we started realizing that a lot of our songs were centered around death and the concept of death and different ways of understanding it. So our lyrics are kind of centered towards that. And once we realized it, we kind of started doing it a little bit more on purpose.
yeah?
And not necessarily in like, this is brutal death.
Yeah, no.
Where everything is about, fermented offal discharge,
Right.
or whatever. It's more about the concepts of death.
Yeah. Like the
and
first
different aspects of it. Everything from like acceptance to, the actual physical manifestation of death as like an anthropomorphic being.
Yeah, and
You know,
you're
there's all
bargaining
kinds
with
of
this.
stuff.
You're bargaining with this being for your life, kind of thing. And there's like songs about the SEAL Team 6 team that killed Osama bin Laden. We have a song about that. The Night Stalkers, I believe, is what they were called. So songs about that, and songs about maybe suicide and that kind of stuff. So.
Some of our favorite movie franchises as well.
Oh yeah,
Too.
movie franchises, Alien, The Thing. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
You're in good company then. I'm a fan of the morbid writing. I don't know why. There's something about it. Just the death and suicide. It always manages to creep its way in there.
It's not
You're just-
technically
this
morbid.
guy starts throwing parties for
My
like the
shit's
Halloween
morbid.
horror nights like 3 months in advance.
I
It's
am
true.
so disappointed they just announced today that it's canceled.
Yeah.
Amongst everything
We've
else.
actually been going for like my wife and I ever since we actually started dating. I think our second date was to Halloween Horror Nights back
nice.
in 2004, and we've gone every year since.
Wait, she trusted you to take her into a dark haunted house on date number 2?
She used to play hockey
Oh, okay.
as well as roller derby at one point in her
Yeah,
life. so-
seriously, he would be the one that should be like more trustworthy.
I was going to say,
She
you,
could-
you trusted her to take you into a dark.
I take her in there for protection. She's
go.
covering my ass.
Checks the zombie.
But we've gone every year, and last year we actually skipped because it was like, you know what, we've been doing this so long, it's sort of all starting to be the same.
Yep.
Let's just take a year off. We had moved, we had a whole bunch of shit on our plate, so we just sort of said, all right, let's not do it this year. So of course, fucking gets canceled. So we're out for a couple years, but
Yeah.
first world problems,
Right.
Right. Right.
Well, give me the. Sorry, Blah. I'll have to go back and clean all this up.
Have you guys ever
29
been to Halloween Horror Nights?
I
Wait,
actually
yeah.
have
How-
not ever.
Gone about the last 9 years.
See, I was gonna cut all that out, where I was sounding like a fucking fool, stuttering all over myself.
And then here comes in Matt with a
Just
question.
steamrolled all over it. No, what is after you get a record? What does that look like? So we get a record. We're doing some touring. Like Kyle, you got touring plans for these boys anytime in the future?
Possibly.
Where are we
Oh,
taking them?
God.
Where are we taking them?
We're taking them all over.
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
That's the first stop.
That-
clearly.
obviously,
Yeah,
It's-
Tokyo's first stop. Yeah,
first.
definitely.
Alright.
Maybe Japan.
Budokan.
Andy doesn't look so sure. He's like, what the what?
No, it would probably be
exchange
a
rate,
U.S.
though.
store. But
Even that would be challenging. We all have day jobs,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I mean, we tried doing little tours with my other band, No Comply. We
Yeah.
did like a weekend tour where we had a show booked both days, and we had like, we packed the camper up
Yep.
and did our
And
thing
not
for
for
a
nothing,
weekend.
but I mean,
It
when
was
you
so
got
much fun.
when you got the 9 to 5,
Yeah,
you got fucking adult responsibilities.
Right.
Jesus Christ, it's rough, man.
Yeah.
If somebody called me today and said, "Hey, man, I got a 2-day tour booked," I'd be like, "Listen, I got some couch time planned."
Tired
like that's,
and-
yeah.
No.
I worked all week.
No.
Like I'm 40. Fuck you. I'm not going there. Jesus.
I know it for me. It's super difficult trying to book shows.
Yeah.
With just all of our lives
Availabilities.
and
Right.
And dude, it's an unprecedented time right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, of course, but
Yeah,
I'm talking about even before
even
the
when
pandemic,
it's
yeah.
normal.
Yeah. No,
Man,
it's-
I had a hard time just getting my ass off the couch to come over here. I'm like, man, I gotta drive over to the porch.
Motivation.
That's pretty routine, though. That's normal.
I know, and so that's the bitching on a pretty routine basis. Like every Friday, I was like, "Fuck, I gotta drive over to the porch."
You're like
It's a whole 10 minutes away.
you're 3 miles away.
um,
I mean, I've seen you stagger out of here, and I'm like, he'll be fine. It's only like 3 miles away.
Oh, I did actually walk home from the old porch once before.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, not for me. 'Cause I got about halfway there. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck did I just do? And I was like, well, I can't turn back and walk back.
That
I
kind of
just
defeat
got to
the
keep
purpose.
going.
You like realized it halfway through the walk. You're like, where am I at?
No, I knew exactly where I was. I just didn't realize the distance. So
Yeah.
I had never walked it before.
Yeah.
So walking is a lot further than driving. I can tell you that right now.
So we're gonna-
Especially at like 3 a.m. when you've been drinking all night.
oh Jesus.
Yeah. It's
So we is there any music videos in the works? Anything like that? You think you'd do in addition to some videos?
I would love
Or
to if we had
into-
some contacts
oh,
for
Yeah,
that.
we do have a couple contacts
Yeah.
that I have. Yeah, I mean we could reach out to a couple different people.
Well, that seems to be the thing. You know, that's what I was saying. Where we stopped sort of worrying about the albums and just doing like one-offs. You know, let's go record a song. Let's
Really?
do a video, and
Yeah.
push that out there into the world. We did that with the last 2 songs that we recorded. That was all we did.
I
Like,
think that's
Cool.
definitely priority.
You know.
and they were awesome videos, I got to say. They're very
Hmm.
awesome.
well, it was just it just nowadays, like you said. I mean, while we all value holding that record in our hands, you know, I mean, that's for a musician especially. That's one of the greatest moments, like holding that. I've got like 1,000 of them left over. Yeah, you know, so it's great holding 1,000 of them. I guess, you know, but
I think I got like 6 of them.
probably. But that seems to be the way that most people are consuming their music these days is
Yeah.
is digitally. So I mean,
Streaming.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely priority one is to get solid recordings of
Yeah.
the music that we have.
yeah,
Not just for advertising purposes, but like you said, that's the way people consume music via Spotify.
Mhm.
You know, just going on YouTube or whatever. And then obviously open up once we have an actual physical recording of some of our music videos for sure.
there's plenty more of that alcohol in there, gentlemen. If you please, if you want, don't
Actually,
be shy.
My glass is
Take
empty.
you up
Grab
on
a
that.
grab a hold of that. Grab a hold of that. It's good, man. I'm telling you.
I'm behaving myself. I'm still on
Jesus.
the same one.
Holy moly.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Perfect. Scanners.
It's good shit. Cheers
Cheers
to Apex.
Cheers.
to Nick,
Hell yes.
Porchville podcast.
Porchville podcast. I'll get up there for you. Ah.
That's some good stuff.
So tell me about Apex. What does it mean? What is the name? The meaning behind the name? Where'd you come up with it? All
It's
that
the
good stuff?
culmination of like a month of us not being able to decide the name for
I was
the
gonna
band.
say, it was
That's
Well.
essentially what it means.
or the best of the best.
Best of
Yeah.
the best.
basically it was like
Top tier.
a March Madness sort of elimination
Yeah.
of do we want this or do we want this? Do we want this or do we want this? And we try it out for like a week and then we'd be like, well, what about this name? And then kind of figured that in a way I feel like it sort of speaks to what Joseph was saying in the sense that it's a culmination of who we are as musicians. Like we're all differently talented in our own ways, in our own technical aspects, and together we feel that we can reach something that we believe sounds a little bit we can express that to other people, and we think it sounds, as best as we can together as a group, and get that across to people in hopefully a way that they enjoy. So, like, at the apex of all of our talents, it results in this music.
I mean, I think it's definitely a reflection of where we want to get to, like, ourselves as musicians, as a team, as a band.
Be the best, top of our game.
Yeah, and it's not even like about we want to be the best band. No, we want to bring the best that we can bring out of ourselves. We want to be at the apex of our ability, our musical expression. Like Andy was saying, bring the best out of each other, to where we're driving ourselves to be at that apex, essentially.
The best band is such a subjective thing. So
seriously.
So many different things. Like,
well, what's kind of cool about it is that, like, I was listening to one of your tracks. I forget which one it was, but it had I was sitting there listening to it, just trying to, like, figure out, like, which influences of, like, different bands.
I'm sorry, I was waiting for you to start going. It kind of sounded like or some shit like that, and I was like, musicians love this. This is gonna be great. Go for it.
But I was just listening to it. It's just like I can hear, like, different influences, different bands, and I can hear, like, their own twist on it. And I was trying to figure out, like, what different, like, influences I could hear on it, and I couldn't figure it out. But there's, like, a lot of, like, really cool stuff going on. So I had my girlfriend Courtney put on my headphones. I'm like, here, listen to this song. And then so I couldn't hear it at all. Like, she was wearing the headphones, and I could just, like, see her heels start tapping and tapping her toes, and she starts nodding her head. And I was like, yeah, she likes it. The song ended. She took off the headphones, and she was like, that was really good. They're really good.
Awesome.
Cool, man.
I was like, I'm going to make sure I tell them that.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
And I think at the end of the day, that's one of the things we would like, is to be, accessible.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing to be like, hey, we're super technical. We like all this, musicianship that other musicians adore. But at the end of the day, you also still need to be listenable and enjoyable to the average person that might not necessarily even play an instrument. So, you have to kind of toe that line.
Yeah. I'll tell you a funny story, and I won't say names. But years ago, there was a band that we used to play with occasionally, and one of the members. This is very difficult. One of the members, we were having a conversation about just the different styles. And they were a very, unique time signatures sort of, thing. That was their thing. And I remember him saying, like, yeah, we were doing this show and watching the crowd trying to get into what we were doing, and it was almost like they were having a hard time finding the timing and wow, it was just cool. And I remember Joe and I being like, I don't know, man. I like to be at a show and just start, catch that groove.
Yeah.
And I get that with you guys, though. It's very technical, but you can find that groove, man.
That's where the drummer comes in.
I dig that. The drummer, he finally shines. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, man.
Time.
I love it. I love what you guys are doing. Like, it's very good, and I don't dole those compliments out. Often, man.
Thanks, man.
Heard a lot of bands. Played with a fucking lot of bands. Who's what was that? What's that band? That Trivium.
Yeah.
They were terrible. Terrible. When we played with them, they were terrible. This is before they were. I mean, they may have been together like a month, if that.
That's right, because they're out of Orlando, right?
Yeah. We played with them down at Lost and Found. Rest her soul down there in Orlando. But yeah, I enjoy what you're doing. It's listenable. It's technical and it's listenable, which is sort of a new thing for me, man. I'm kind of digging it though. Cool. So,
awesome.
How do you make sure you do that? Like, how do you find that? Like,
I think I don't know if we actually are. I mean, maybe there's an element to consciously. We want to appeal to the people who are there. Standing there, watching our musical capabilities.
Yeah.
People there that are just wanting to feel the groove and enjoy the music, and then there are people there that aren't necessarily even listening, but they can catch a hook in a song, and you're
Right.
like, they can enjoy that aspect of the music if they aren't really into the technical or any of the heavy metal stuff.
Yeah.
But whenever we're writing in the room, I guess we all enjoy different types of music that serve that purpose, for certain people that are, that enjoy that music as well. So everybody with their own unique influences brings that kind of, we're going to appeal to this particular portion of the audience just by our influences that we enjoy and we want to put into the music. So I don't think we write music for, people to necessarily listen to, but I think that the music that we enjoy listening to is that kind of music.
Yeah.
So sort of, it just gets naturally put into the music is kind of my viewpoint on it.
I think that's like what I was talking about. Is just like I could hear like little influences here and there. It's just like, oh man, that sounded like System of a Down, or oh man, that sounded like
Who are
Coheed
some
and
of your-
Cambria.
Who are some of your influences?
Meshuggah.
Meshuggah?
Yeah, I love Meshuggah.
Yeah.
Sugar, Tool.
Were they at
so you
Rockville? Meshuggah was at Rockville?
Yeah,
Yes,
they were at Rockville.
actually.
Okay.
So happy.
Okay, so I saw Meshuggah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
remember
I'm
Meshuggah.
pretty sure.
So
I
glad
saw
I
them.
remember Meshuggah too.
Yeah.
Because I was pretty drunk too.
Have you been to Rockville?
Yeah, I was at the.
Are you a yearly goer?
No, actually, that was my first time. The last year.
The last year?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I drug him out with me.
Oh,
Yeah, he
man.
did. He drove me.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah, it was
we
so much
we
fun.
definitely missed it this year. I was
Yeah.
I was upset, but it
This
is what
was
it
the
is.
first year that Cordy, my girlfriend, and I, like, we were actually gonna go, and we were all excited about it. We
yeah.
actually like pre-ordered our tickets
Yeah,
and
they're gonna
everything.
get a tent. Fucking
dude, and
Loved it.
then all of a sudden, fucking
God damn it.
gone.
All of it.
That sucks.
COVID.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
yeah, my balls fell off that day.
Oh, how are you guys coping with all this shit going on with the COVID?
I think we're pretty fortunate. We still have our jobs. We're still able to take care of ourselves and be healthy
Yeah.
as well, and still practice.
Yeah.
So I think we're managing the best that we can. There's a lot of people that need more support than we do for sure. So
True
Helps
that.
to keep a routine too. Like I
Routine.
still, to mentally satiate myself, I still get up for work Monday to Friday at like 8 a.m., take a shower, act like I'm getting ready, and then sit on my laptop and work.
Mhm.
Just for that, the mental,
Yeah.
just like, okay, I am at work right now, and that sort of keeps you a little bit sane, having some sort of schedule like
Right.
that, and with everything going on.
Yeah.
Did you have to rearrange your house at all, like to make yourself like a little like cubicle to like make yourself feel like
Well,
you were at work?
I didn't have to necessarily rearrange my house. Luckily, so I work at UF with in electrical and computer engineering, and they were nice enough to allow me to return to campus to get my workstation, basically, which is multiple monitors and like a little dock for your laptop and everything. And then I'd have to set up that at my desk at home because
I think that's been the case, like with work and with
Yeah.
band, it's been about let's try to keep the momentum going,
Yeah.
whether it's like you're saying, keeping the routine going every day and just getting in that mindset,
It's hard though. It's hard,
dude,
man.
it's
Yeah.
like what you guys were describing, getting out of bed, getting out of off the couch, like motivating yourself to adjust to these ridiculously strange times.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's and that goes hand in hand with us, really wanting to prioritize getting an album out. It's keeping the momentum going, keeping practicing going, continue fine-tuning our songs, but
It
it's
helps
Yeah.
keep you sane too. Some
Yeah, for sure.
shit like that.
For sure.
I mean,
some-
music.
something to look forward to every week.
Yeah.
And
It's
practice
getting
best-
together with these guys.
It's the best day of the week for me.
Well, as
Yeah.
therapeutic as music is anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, in this environment, I know that there's been a couple times since I haven't been doing it that it's just been like, oh man, I need to scream into a fucking microphone,
Right.
and it's really difficult not to sometimes. So
is that right around the time that episode 1 was created?
it may have been, yeah. I mean, this is the reason that we did this, just for shit like this, just hanging out, talking, bullshitting, and telling stories, talking about where everybody came from, why we're doing what we're doing, and that was the whole inception for this. And it was since I've been doing this and not playing, I actually enjoy this quite a bit more, and it's so much easier on my throat. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God, So.
And he sounds so sexy on a microphone.
Oh, there's that.
yeah.
There's that. I actually have Hellfire Radio, which airs the show Tuesday nights, 10 o'clock. The folks who run Hellfire, they want me to read bedtime stories for them. So,
Oh, there you go.
Maybe one of these days we do a craft beer corner over there periodically. We all get on mics and talk to people and drink beers together. It's good times. And they want me to read bedtime stories.
Oh, you should do the ASMR. Have you guys heard of ASMR?
Yeah.
ASMR.
I mean, I listen to you as I fall asleep. That's cool.
Dude, yeah, it's just somebody just like whispering into the mic.
What?
It's just whispering.
Is
It's
it
also
really?
like weird sort of tactile noises and stuff, like rubbing stuff up against the microphone to create,
Yeah.
an effect.
Yeah, I could totally see you do that.
What?
the hell are you guys listening to?
I got a fan noise sound on my phone for when I go out of town and my wife needs a goddamn fan.
I just
That's
bring a
about
fan with me. Why don't you just bring a fan? Why do
Because
you
you
need an
can't
app
take a
for it?
fan everywhere.
Yes,
You-
you can.
No,
You
no,
literally
you can't.
I have one that plugs into my phone. I literally have one that plugs into my phone.
Look, sometimes you're unprepared and you need a goddamn fan.
The
I
frick-
don't.
All right.
I can do without it. I don't give a fuck. She needs a fan. I don't know why.
I'm a fan guy.
It's probably to drown out my snoring, though. So.
That's probably why I need a fan, is to drown out my snoring.
Fair enough.
And also I sweat when I sleep.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's
In
fantastic.
case you're
Is there
wondering.
anything else you want to divulge?
What else do you use this fan for?
Isn't that just
This
being
is weird
in
having
Florida?
4 people because when you guys talk, I gotta like look at everybody to see who's talking real quick. Before I can say, "Oh fuck, who am I directing the answer to?" That's what I
But
get for
the
being
question
in the
of
dark.
what else do I use the fan for? What else would I use the fan for?
We're coming
There's-
back to that.
There's pretty much just one specific use for a fan.
You could always talk into it and pretend you're Darth Vader.
That's
pretty good
All
use.
right, all right. See,
There it is.
See, you
That
didn't
was-
think about that one, didn't
that
you?
was
That's what
clutch.
Fox.
That was clutch right there. That was all right. So yeah, he thought of a second reason to use a fan.
And that's it. Those two.
It's the only use
Oh.
for fans.
So what kind of shows are we looking at in the future here? I know that we're talking down the road. I mean, are we trying to get you guys trying to get into? We're talking about doing festivals. Like,
Oh, I'd love to.
is that a goal? Like,
Welcome to Rockville. If we
Yeah,
ever,
definitely
if
a
we ever
goal.
had the chance to play with all those different types of bands, God, I just crap my pants.
Fantastic.
It would be amazing.
And I know we keep coming back to it, but it's just so weird to. It's hard to plan.
Yeah.
The way everything is. Obviously,
Yeah.
live
I
streaming
know.
shows are starting to become a thing.
do you think it's gonna be like some people are saying 2022 and shit?
Ugh.
Like, do we,
I
is
sure
that
hope not.
legitimate?
I hope
I sure hope
I hope
not.
not.
It was interesting because I planned shows 3, 4, 5 months in advance.
Oh, you're a
so-
planner.
Oh yeah.
Fucking A. See,
So-
that's great.
So I
Yeah, he
enjoy
gets
it.
us all the shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I enjoy it. So when the pandemic happened, it was like, oh, okay. No, I would love for Apex to do festivals in like Rockville and
how do we get them to that point?
Get an album, I guess.
Album
first.
Yeah,
and start
yeah,
to
you
play
definitely-
locally again,
promote.
yeah.
You definitely have to get an album, advertise,
Yeah.
Big time merch, website, Facebook, Instagram, everything. Just
Yeah.
Part of it, man. We got to just continue, like, maintain a presence through all this,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
like,
mean-
record practices, play live streams.
Get on
Once-
podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda
no,
get our
I
name
mean,
out there.
for me, I'm just, we need to take every opportunity as, that comes by. So, right now during the pandemic, it's kind of definitely slowed down a lot. But I'm hopeful for next year. Hopefully the pandemic is over by the end of the year and, we can move forward and do those bigger shows. Because we had some,
Fingers
decently
crossed, man.
numbers of shows.
I just don't want to see everybody playing in fucking drive-in theaters for the next 10 years. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Have you tuned into Annie?
no, I haven't. I have watched a couple like comedy shows and stuff like that. And those have been okay, but I mean, there's something lacking when you're performing and there's no audience.
Yes,
We all
yeah.
know that.
Yep.
If you don't get that feedback, It's like, oh boy, this can be difficult.
There's a band that I've watched that has a pretty good setup. Have you heard of the band Psycho Stick?
Yes.
They're
They're
a comedy band, and they have like a studio that they set up for live shows, and they do it every Thursday on their YouTube channel, and they raise money for COVID stuff, and they raise money for themselves. And it's really successful, and I'm like, wow. Obviously they've built what they have now, and so they're relying on this for the short term, or maybe the long term. I don't know, but they really have a really cool setup. So
I think Clutch is doing the same.
Cool.
I know they've put out a couple shows, and I did see an ad just recently that they were getting ready to do another streaming show. So
yeah,
I mean, if that's what people are doing, it's.
But you get the live feedback too. You get the comments from YouTube. It's YouTube Live, so
it's a good Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that to be the status quo, though.
Definitely not.
Like
no.
you were saying, obviously there's that intangible aspect of connecting with a crowd that
it's just different.
you miss. Like when we just did that live stream last Saturday at High Dive, like, I mean, granted the other bands were there and we've all played shows where we're
it's
only
just the
playing
bands
and staff. So it felt kind of like that, but you miss that. Just simply seeing somebody's face in the crowd when you're playing is something that you can't replicate with these live streams. And
do you modify your performance though when you're?
Well, we try not to, because I think one of the things that we like to try to do is we realize that most people, when they would normally come to a show, you come to a show to see, a show, not necessarily four guys stare at their shoes the whole time.
Right.
So you want to at least, I don't care if you miss a note. If you're bouncing all over the place and you get the crowd into it, I like you as a band 10 times better. And I'll go home and I'll like your music even more if I see you live and you just knock it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer those kind of bands. There's nothing more disappointing than listening to a band, loving them to death, and then when you show up, you find out that like half of it was tracked, and they can't actually play it live, or whatever.
Or they're just zombies on stage. They just don't move. There's no energy, and just sucks the life.
That
out
was
of the
one thing.
performance.
I was always one of the best comments that I could ever hear from somebody was, "You guys sound just like you sound on the CD." It's like, fuck yeah, we're doing something right there.
Yeah.
And that was always important to us, So I mean, it matters,
Here's an idea.
If you can't do it live.
Like you get like a
don't
little
do it.
venue, and it's it's empty, like nobody's in there, but you fill it up with like an army of mannequins, and you have Kyle up in the rafters, controlling these mannequins like marionette dolls, as you guys play.
I'll have to ask Pat at High Dive if I'm allowed to do that.
He's got the applause track. He's
If
just
you tell Pat you're gonna pay him, he'll fucking do it. I'll bet you.
Okay,
Is that in the
I'll
budget?
donate some money to High Dive to do that.
I shit.
crazy,
Count
man.
me in. Count
Like,
me in.
maybe with the exception of the marionette thing, isn't
It's
that
a-
like a lot?
it's a
Isn't that what
little
a lot of
creepy.
sports teams are doing now too? Like
No, they're doing
filling up
backdrops of video games.
backdrops of video. Like,
no, the MLB is just doing like cardboard
yeah, they
cutouts
have
of people.
what? Like seeing
Yeah,
pictures
it's
of,
just like cardboard
that's
cutouts of people in the fucking stands.
Uh-huh.
I think
It's like,
soccer
what if
is
it rains?
they all melt.
Shit.
Morbid.
That, I mean, it's
Then we
kinda
can play a
weird.
metal show there.
There you go. We
Yeah.
can write a song about it.
I love the idea of the marionettes, though.
I-
mean,
I-
that's
dude.
we-
I mean,
we gotta get
just
that
like
set up, yeah.
just a small venue like the High Dive, and like just like the first like
Well,
like 20 feet or something
very
like
Home
that.
Alone style,
But if,
Yeah, exactly.
If you're gonna do this, there's only one rule. You got to have Matt in the crowd with all the mannequins.
yes,
Moshing with the mannequin.
dressed up in a onesie,
Because this
so he looks like
motherfucker's a hype man. I'm telling you, like no other. So you got to have him in there. Plus, I just think it'd be fucking hilarious seeing you swimming around in a sea of mannequins.
There probably wouldn't be any functioning mannequins left at the end of the show because I just
Probably not.
moshed the shit out of them.
Somehow you're crowd surfing among the mannequins.
Rolling over the mannequin.
Kyle, you got your fucking work cut
Yeah,
out for
no,
you.
I gotta.
You got your
contact
work cut
Pat,
out
like,
for you.
like tomorrow.
He's already looking up how much a mannequin costs.
Exactly right.
Can we fit this in the budget?
So who?
And how do we actually rig up something to actually have Matt on top of the mannequins? Because I'm not a small
no, that's
guy.
that's for you to figure out.
Yeah, that's your
That's
job.
for you to figure out,
Hollywood
dude.
Wires.
Oh well, see, then there's just not going to be any mannequins left afterwards because I'm just going to be jumping around in there.
You got to take that up with Kyle.
Kyle, we got some
All right.
we got some talking to do.
Yeah, sounds good.
So who writes most of the lyrics?
Caleb.
Caleb
Caleb, sure.
writes
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
or do
Well-
you guys give him some like little pointers here and there.
Every once in a while, he'll come to the band room with a song that he has ideas for, or lyrics that he has ideas for, and he'll work through them with us. But a good portion of the work is offline, and he'll come to us with like almost a finished product of lyrics.
Just lyrics, any music with that, or
vocal melody. This guy is such an amazing musician.
Yeah.
It's why we love him so much in this band, is that he challenges us, even though he doesn't play a physical instrument. Like his voice, he's able to manipulate melodies and show us different things. He is able to play a little bit of guitar to show us.
Yeah.
But he'll come up with melodies.
I
just
think
with
that's
his
one of my
voice.
favorite parts about the band too.
Yeah.
Is everybody has brought different stuff to the table that in some way has turned into a song, and we don't pigeonhole ourselves into requiring us to sound a certain way. So we can have a song like Hit and Run that Caleb's just talking about his experience of getting hit in his Mustang when he's driving, and then we can mix it up with some sort of 7/8 jazz sound, and we have this song that doesn't sound anything like the next song, which like LV426, which for example, Caleb came up with a melody on the piano, and that turned into, the bridge at the end. Just things like that, where it's just an open environment for everybody to just creatively express themselves in a way where we can all, have our own input, and nobody gets stifled in any way. And we have, there's songs that I've created, there's songs that Joseph's created, Christian, Caleb, and then there's a bunch of songs that we've all collaborated on different parts together. But I think that's my favorite aspect, is there is basically no stunting of our desires to write in whatever facet that may be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, coming up with riffs offline that we bring to the band, but there's also those spontaneous moments where, Andy, our last song, The Bargain, that one was basically you jamming on a riff that you had just... if I remember correctly, it was spontaneous, and Caleb had a vocal melody that he just spontaneously came up with. And
those are the best.
4 days later, we had this, the basically 95% of this song already written out.
Those are the best.
That's crazy.
Those are absolutely
So
the best. Some of the best songs I've ever played with anybody have been those songs that just exploded and
come naturally.
Like, oh my God, yes! It's like it just always was a song.
Yeah.
It just orgasms right out of your brain.
It's wonderful.
Oh God, it feels so good.
I'm gonna say coming naturally is always a good thing.
Right.
But I love that. That's one of my favorite things about music is that creative process, and when you really have that final product, it's like it just the feeling of that is amazing.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it is emotion release. It is expression of ourselves or whatever we have inside of us, which again in this time is something that can keep you sane, like having hobbies like music.
Yeah.
Making podcasts, whatever creative.
Oh, if it wasn't for this podcast, I'd be in a fucking nut house with David Bora. I tell you what, I'm serious. I would be insane right now.
Way to bring Bora in.
Much
here.
love to you, Bora. But yeah, we'd be sharing a room because, the whole world, everything's been so fucking up in the air. Like you never know what's gonna happen. I mean, murder hornets was a thing.
Forgot about them.
Somebody said to me earlier. They said, you know, Kobe Bryant died this year.
Yeah,
and it was like,
in a horrific manner.
That was this year,
and that's
that seems like years ago.
Right. With his daughter.
Yeah, it seemed that Australia was on fire this year too. You remember that? Koala bears in the street.
Oh, that was fucked up.
That was terrible.
Yeah,
that happened this year.
Yeah. 4 months felt like 4 years.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know. So.
And then Matt survived a 34th year. He's still around. Damn it!
I was certain that hammock would be the death of you on your fucking birthday.
Well, I was okay on my birthday. It was that one other time when I fell off and
that was
laid
fun.
on the ground for a while.
That was fun. Yeah. Yeah, Matt's got a thing about excess. He likes it a little bit, so.
I'm behaving tonight.
Why is that?
I want to get laid at some point. Oh. That's not going to happen if I'm just falling over myself.
Probably not.
With just whiskey dick like crazy.
Yeah, you're probably right. What are you going to do?
I mean, if I'm too drunk to get myself off, what chance do I got?
Words of wisdom right there, guys.
I just wanted to see how long we could hang the silence. I wanted to see how long we could keep it going
That
there.
was amazing.
I was waiting to see who the first person to crack was.
That was me.
Oh. So now the drowning pool show, that didn't happen then? Did that
No,
get
no,
canceled?
No,
it did.
it
It did
did.
happen.
Mhm, yep.
December.
The drowning pool, they replaced their singer when he passed away. Is that right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How were they? I haven't heard them. I'll be
They were
honest.
good.
Were they
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it was
were
really
in
good.
comparison?
Energy was great.
Yeah.
The show was really well produced. So
Nice.
they sounded really on
How
point.
was that show overall for you guys?
Fun.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a shame that Raw had to close down
Yeah,
here
big
recently.
stage.
But,
Good crowd?
huge
Yeah.
stage, good crowd.
crowd, yeah.
The sound guy was
Yeah.
great.
Nice.
Drinks were flowing, friends were showing up. It was tons of fun. It was a little out of the way. It was kind of in a weird
Yeah.
spot, like
Mhm.
like in a plaza kind of area, which I wasn't wasn't expecting at first. But everything sounded. beautiful.
Anytime
It was super fun.
you pull into a venue for the first time,
yeah,
let's be honest.
it's very true.
You pull into that fucking venue. Well, what's the address? Oh, this is the place.
My
Is this a
favorite-
fucking strip mall?
My
I'm next to a fucking Payless Shoes over here.
My original band Validus, we played a hibachi sushi place once.
What?
Nice.
How did you do that?
Did not know it was a hibachi sushi place.
How do you not know that?
It was the most dichotomously decorated place ever, because you walk in and they have it looks like some sort of step pyramid
Wait a minute.
for the stage.
Did you say hibachi sushi?
Yeah,
Isn't that two different things?
it is. They have a sushi bar. Maybe it's just hibachi. They had a hibachi room with little things, and then there was a bar for people to just pull up and have some sushi. But,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so it had this little step pyramid for the stage, surrounded with sort of that Harley Davidson flame look on the walls. And then you turn the corner, and it's a bunch of sous chefs making you, whatever. And we were like, all right,
sounds
this
kind
is
of amazing.
super weird. And it was one of those shows, when you're just starting out. It was actually in St.
Uh-huh.
Augustine of all places, and you're not playing to much of anybody because we're not local, and the people that were, unfortunately, nobody came. And you're playing, and halfway through, my singer Calvin turns to me, and he gives sort of a signal, those last 3 songs we were gonna play.
Let's get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Let's stop. And then just as soon as he turns around, all of a sudden, this little sushi chef walks out from the bar and goes, "Hey, you guys sound great. We're all loving it back here, blah, blah, blah." And then we were like,
Oh, fuck.
all
All
right.
right. You got to do it. You're going to play your ass off
Right?
for those fucking guys.
Yeah.
I love it.
Exactly.
You never
That's the way
know.
to do it.
You never
Yeah.
know. People know people.
Did you guys get free sushi? Like
How's-
they were passing
yeah,
out
how was-
sushi instead of drinks?
How was the sushi?
I did not partake because the last thing I would want was some bad sushi on the ride home.
Have you guys ever eaten sushi? I'm not a sushi guy.
Oh,
I've
hell
never
yeah.
had it. Is it
Oh,
good?
I love it.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You recommend it?
Volcano right around the corner.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Best sushi in town.
I don't know. You?
I love sushi.
You
I love
you
it.
seem like a gas station sushi kind of guy though.
I would try it, unfortunately.
I mean, why
Nailed
not?
it.
But the worst thing is I'd probably try it halfway, on a trip to Wisconsin.
Oh,
and,
Jesus
then all of a
fucking-
sudden I would regret it.
Christ. Yeah, probably.
That was very specific.
I'm from Wisconsin.
Gotcha. All right.
So I'd be on a road trip home, and I'd be in the middle of Kentucky, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, they got sushi here, and then I would probably fucking try it.
So is that the weirdest place you've ever played?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
What about you guys? Strangest places?
What about the grilled cheese?
Yeah,
place?
that's exactly Planet Sorbet. It's also another place in
The
St.
what?
Augustine.
Did they end up closing?
Something about
I
St.
don't-
Augustine.
I don't
I'm going
know
there
about-
I'd
tomorrow.
have to Google it.
It's a grilled cheese place.
It was freaking awesome.
like gourmet grilled cheeses, and they had a
What?
stage, and it was actually fun. It was a nice stage.
That's
too.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no crazy stories or anything like that relating to the place, but yeah, it was a grilled cheese place that served you.
We were
gourmet.
we were in Live Oak, Florida,
Oh.
one
Oh.
night
All right,
some
problem
years ago, and we had a show at some hole in the wall bar, and I think it got canceled. So Joe picks up the phone and decides he's going to find us another gig the night of,
Sounds like you.
right? So he calls this it was like a Mexican restaurant. And he's like, "Hey, do you guys do live music?" Yeah. They didn't have a band that night, so clearly they weren't too fucking committed. They started asking Joe, "Oh, what do you sound like?" And he said, well, it's like Leonard Skinner, CCR. It's like-
Okay.
and I'm like, that's not at all what it sounds like. He didn't care. He had not a care in the world. He just wanted us to get down there and set up and make fools of ourselves in this goddamn Mexican restaurant in the middle of Live Oak. So, luckily, it didn't happen. I think I threw like a singer fit, you know? You guys know what I'm talking about, don't
Like
you?
little LSD lead singer disease.
Oh, yeah.
Just pop up.
Oh, yeah. I'm just not doing it. I had to get through one of those. You got to do it without me then.
Think of all the free chips and
You know?
salsa.
Queso, man. You missed
Yeah,
out.
We were like young and poor at the time, early 20s, the rough times, you know,
Yes.
to be a musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you're younger and you've never actually played a show, you have these fantasies in your head based on what you hear on what it's like to play a show. And my very first show probably combined two of some of the biggest stereotypes all at once at, like you were saying, Eddie C's. It was Backstage Lounge at the time. You know, people think of groupies and people think of drugs when it comes to rock and roll. That's one of those stereotypes that are just out there. And you think, yeah, but that's like, you know, that's at the big league level. You got all that going out, like in, you know, L.A. and things like that. First show ever, you know, young nubile me just shows up, plays our show. I go to the bathroom immediately after. And, you know, first thing you see, somebody's just snorting a line off the toilet seat. I'm just like, oh, okay, there's that. And then you turn around the corner, and then somebody comes up and does one of these moves where they put their leg over their waist, basically up against the wall, and prop it to kind of stop you. And it's a older lady. And then she goes, oh, you sounded great. I would love to destroy you.
This was at Eddie C's?
Yeah. Backstage Lounge.
Oh, my God.
The finest.
I'm scared for you.
And I'm just like, oh God, is this what it's always like? Is this every single show?
I'm scared for you. I know
Yeah.
I know who used to hang out at Eddie C's, man. It's,
Yeah,
that's-
I was gonna say you probably know,
I mean, there's like 4 or 5 I can think of right off the top of my head.
right?
You're saying this
I was gonna
is
say,
this
this-
is what used to be, or this is what backstage was.
Yeah.
I've only been there once before, and it was with you and Joe, and there was a picture of you guys playing there, hanging on the wall, and they were talking about closing down.
That picture right there that I stole that night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nick takes this picture off of the wall and like tucks under his shirt or something. Like he makes away with
I
it.
just walked out with it.
Joe walks up to Wolfman and he's just like, "Hey, just so you know, we took this picture." And Wolfman is just kind of looking at you and Joe and looking at the wall and looking at you
I
and
was like
Joe.
borderline mad about it.
And then he was just like, "I guess."
I heard,
you really
I heard
didn't-
later he was upset about that we'd taken it.
I don't know. He didn't really know what to say at that point. It was just like, you guys just fucking took it.
This is like a karate studio or something nowadays.
Probably.
Like a yoga gym or
Yeah. Yeah, some sort of class.
I don't think yoga gym is the right term, but
No, it's like a youth kind of a thing.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I just drove past it the other day.
Shaved a guy's head on stage. That was fun.
You shaved a
Remember-
guy's head on stage?
Remember, I don't know if you remember him, Jack Wick. Used to work for Rock 104.
Okay,
when that
yeah.
was a thing.
God damn.
Yeah, he used to love us. And, you know,
Dude, we've been in this town a long fucking time.
Right.
Rock 104.
yeah, we used to love him because he'd sandwich us between like, you know, like, here's this Deftones song and this Avenged Sevenfold song, and oh, by the way, here's Ballad, as you know, and he went and had his birthday actually again, same kind of venue. Now I'm thinking about it, backstage, and during our set, he came up on stage and we gave him a buzz cut.
Well, yeah, because Eddie C's took over the Rock 104 shows after
Yeah.
the Porpoise closed.
The Purple Porpoise.
The Purple Porpoise. You ever play there?
No.
No. You guys remember the Porpoise?
Wait, they had live music there?
Did they have
Because that
live
became
music there?
Gator City, and now it's like
Did they have live music there?
Now
oh, my
they,
God.
They completely tore it down, and
I was
now
gonna
it's
say
the
it's some-
social.
Hound
some
Dog's
husk of what it
rolling
used to
over in
be.
his grave. God rest his soul, Hound Dog. Nah, they used to have at the Porpoise used to have a little club inside called
Yeah.
the Blowhole,
Oh,
and that's where all the bands played.
Gator City also had that.
yeah, it was
same
called
club in there.
Excess.
Yeah. That used to be the Blowhole, and it was the place was rough. It was a shithole.
Well, it's called the Blowhole.
Well,
Like,
it's the Purple Porpoise. What do you expect?
Greatness.
We had a lot of fun on that stage, though. Lots of fun there. But yeah, Matt Adams at one point used to manage us, the
Oh.
dude from Rock 104,
Yeah.
and God, that was forever ago,
Yeah.
long time ago. But whatever happened to Validus? You still hear those
Validus
guys?
was great. We played. Yeah, I still talk to them every day.
How long did you guys stay
actually.
together?
Let's see, till about 5 years, 6 years. It was just sort of a circumstance situation. The other guys were, at least 2 of the other 4, were physical therapy majors and had just finished and graduated. So
Keep talking. I'm just going right over there.
Cool. They decided to go, start their however many hundreds of $1,000 starting salary jobs around the United States. And that was sort of, blew up the band after a while. But, I talk to them every day. Nick's over in Austin, which would be amazing if we were
Austin's
still
pretty
a band.
dope.
Yeah. And then
From what I
Calvin's
hear.
over in Boulder, Colorado, enjoying all that. And Dave's up in New York.
Enjoying all that recreational marijuana.
yeah. Trying to be sly about it, but...
You don't have to be because it's recreational there.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
I can't wait till it's recreational.
but we're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not. we don't discuss that. So
No politics.
Look, my
Yeah, we
back
try to
gets
stay away
kind of
from
sore
politics.
sometimes, all right?
it's glaucoma,
I was
man.
gonna say, it looks like you got some glaucoma.
Yeah, yeah.
swear it's a scoliosis, man. I just need something.
Oh man, I mean, can't you get it for like asthma or something? Like, I feel like that's so counterintuitive.
That'd be
Like,
a little strange.
My airways are tightening up, so I'm gonna smoke something, and that makes a lot of sense.
They say that when you smoke for a long time, that it actually, that's a good thing, that you should get up and smoke because
Right.
it's fucking retarded.
You're not talking about cigarettes, though.
Yeah, I'm talking about cigarettes.
Oh, you are talking about
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Yeah, I'm almost a year.
Oh,
Congrats.
no. So you're saying that smoking marijuana after smoking cigarettes for a really long time can help you?
I would assume so.
Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I suppose.
did I just miss your entire point?
I mean, I didn't have a point.
I was thinking
I
about
don't
lighting a
think
cigarette.
I don't think I made that point.
Okay.
But it'd be a good point to make.
I like that point though.
I mean, it's a good point.
All right. Well, let's continue on wherever the hell we were.
Weird.
So you remember the
Musician
country bar that you took me to? You don't have to name names,
yeah.
but
So
Was
do we
that
want to
8
talk about
seconds?
that experience?
that was
it 8
an
seconds?
interesting experience. A very lovely woman that I've known for about a decade. Good friend. She's a bartender.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the lady that harassed me. Sorry.
I wouldn't use the word lovely to describe her, but
That's what
Yeah,
I thought you were
just-
being facetious.
really, family owned, super nice girl, known her for years. Decided to finally make an appearance at their bar. It's not here in Gainesville. And decided to, drag some friends with me, see if we can all have a good time.
Yeah.
And then these guys had a very interesting
So
experience.
Joseph and I walk in there, and all eyes are like, because they know
Oh my.
that we are together.
Oh my!
So
I'm just trying to ignore it, right?
so
I was oblivious to that.
I sit at the bar, and Andy's friend gives me a drink, and I'm like, okay, great. This lady walks over, and she's like, you look a lot like my son. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
So she shows me a picture, and yeah, besides him having black hair and me having like red hair, we look pretty similar. So she's like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I'm like, I had to think about it.
It's
I
more
was
like, can I take a picture
yeah,
with
yeah, pretty
you look
much,
just like my son.
pretty much. And
I'm picking it up.
and
Yeah.
for the story, she's drinking natural light.
Oh.
So
Classy.
So anyway, so yeah,
Hey.
I'm like, yeah,
wrong.
whatever.
A woman, she knows what she likes. Woman on a budget, she knows what she likes. It's all right,
So she's like, yeah, let's walk over to the pool tables and the light. Let's take a picture. I'm like, okay, whatever. She harassed me all night
What the
freaking
fuck?
long. And then she walks over and she's like, there's people over there? They're talking about you. Talking about you.
Where
I'm like,
were they?
I don't think so.
Who knows?
I
It
don't
was
know.
such a strange
It
experience.
was the
She
weirdest experience I've
I would-
ever experienced.
Andy's over here. He's talking to his girl that's super nice, super sweet, very beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we got
Beautiful,
these
lovely girl.
people cackling over here, just like talk, and it's just such a strange
Well,
environment.
I think part of it is that is the kind of place that 99% of the people that go there are just the regulars. The person
course.
down the
Yeah.
street next door, small town, low population density. So the same people show up all the time. So when us three goofballs show up, again, I was oblivious to any of this happening because I was sort of like, oh, I haven't seen my friend in a couple years, and I just sort of beelined it to her.
Yeah.
And just started talking, and then I kind of got this information secondhand initially, and then started to experience it.
Well, it was just weird. It was weird because, Joseph and I have been together for 4.5 years, and I'm like, I've gone to how many different shows, and not once have I ever had someone, glance at me.
we've never
so
played at a
quickly.
bar like that.
We also had literally just done an interview for Embrace magazine.
Yes.
John Sotomayor in Ocala has started this magazine that is specifically directed towards the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the questions was, hey, as musicians, where half the band is homosexual and half of the band is not, have you guys experienced any sort of negative aspects when you're going out and playing shows or anything like that? And I think majority of our responses were kind of like, no, we've never run into anything because
Didn't even think about that.
It's never even really
Well,
it's
come up,
music.
per
Good
se.
music's
Yeah.
good music.
Yeah.
The thing is though too is like the metal community.
Yeah.
Like that's where everybody goes. That's where everybody who has nowhere to go.
It's the Outcast.
That's
right?
where they go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
And-
that. They all. I mean, I same with me, man. Like all my friends back in the day, they were all just a bunch of kids who didn't have anywhere to go. And I mean, there was gay, straight. Everybody was there. And the one thing we had together, was that we just didn't have anywhere else to go. And
very
it
accepting.
was
Yeah,
just
and you
great.
love music.
Yeah, we love music, and just nobody gave a fuck about any of it.
Yeah.
And that's just an interesting point.
Yeah, we literally just said we've never experienced any sort of
Wasn't it
opposition
like the-
whatsoever, and then the
Wasn't
next
it
day
the
we show up
next
at this
day?
bar.
I would say the next day we showed up at this bar and people were just like,
Yeah.
"Phew." I'm like,
I
"All
felt
right,
It
well."
was a country.
I felt really bad
Yeah.
country
too.
bar.
Well,
no,
you
it
know,
was fine.
here's the moral of the story. I, for some weird reason, would like to go back. Even though it was
See if we can
awkward
find
as
this
hell,
lady.
Let's go.
I want to go back.
Let's go.
I mean, she pours.
We'll
really
bring
good
this
drinks,
fucking
so-
guy with us too.
Yeah.
We're all going.
after
Dude, I
2
definitely
beers-
would love to walk in. Like, what a fucking motley crew, right?
Man, I can't believe I missed out on the first time. Let's do it again.
And I loved after drinking 2 beers. She's like, "Yeah, you get a free glass." I'm like, "Fuck
Fucking
yeah."
A.
I got 3 of them. I'm like, "Yes."
I just felt guilty for dragging him with
You know,
me.
That sounds like a net positive experience.
it was
pretty
a
fun.
semi-positive.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
Yeah, I mean, man, there's just a lot of fucking assholes out there in the world.
Never know who you're gonna meet.
Yeah. But and it's good. I mean, you seem to keep positivity, an open mind about shit.
Yeah.
and,
I mean, nobody's ever physical. Like we've never
Yeah.
experienced any of that kind
Yeah.
of bullshit. But
Well, that's good. I mean, I feel like it's just much more sort of normal these days. I think it's
for
sort of
sure.
taken on that, I mean, I remember 10, 15 years ago where it was taboo. Now,
Yeah.
Being gay is not that big of a deal. At least it shouldn't be, and
It's not even really a point that I mean, normally I don't really bring any of that
Right.
up at our shows.
Yeah.
Or Caleb chooses to. He'll say, so, of course, about like Freakum Dress,
Yeah.
this, that, support for
do you
LGBTQ.
get a lot of people just in interviews that like want to bring it up? Is that a point to talk about?
Well, I think because that
Because I
particular
knew it,
magazine was
but I just
directed
didn't-
at that
Oh,
audience.
okay.
was
Well, that
why
makes sense.
was-
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
played at Pride, and it's obviously part of the discussion.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it comes down to, again, we're a band, we play music together. I don't think for those individuals it in any way reflects anything other than
Yeah.
something that has nothing to do with the actual music. So
Yeah.
you listen to Queen, you don't focus on that. It's good fucking music, so you like it. Same
Best.
thing, like it shouldn't in any way make somebody dislike your music.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's not anything that we stray away from talking about. It's not something that
Yeah.
necessarily makes us
Yeah.
uncomfortable to talk about in any way.
Yeah.
If anything, to me, the idea of a band like us in that way is, it's just a call to how inclusive, both in just terms of the people that are in the band and the music that we create. It's all about, there's no holding back on any sort of musical ideas or, types of people that may be in your band. And so, it's a closeness,
You're open to each other's ideas, each other's perspectives, your backgrounds, your experiences. That comes out in how we write our music, and we draw from each other. Like I know my approach to drumming, for example, it's like I'm always trying to pay attention. Like, what's Joseph doing? What's Andy doing? What's Caleb doing? What are they doing rhythmically? What themes are they playing on with their melodies? And it's like, how can I kind of bridge what I'm doing with your ideas, or draw from your, I like what you're doing. Hold on, let me try to do that with my feet. It's a constant dance of us just listening to each other and enjoying what each other brings to the table, and it's a melting pot of ideas and experiences. That's really what the band is about.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
As much as we talk about it too, we don't really take it that seriously either. We do have a lot of fun with the music
You
too.
have
Like
to.
that's the main thing. Like we definitely want to, have something that's thought out and purposeful with the music, but at the same time, whenever we're in the band room, it's really just fun.
When Hollow Days was together, especially towards the end, I felt we probably took ourselves a little too seriously.
Really?
And with the next band that Joe and I did together, it was a band called After the End. It was brief, but
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation about, this band, I don't want to take ourselves so seriously. I want to have more fun with it. I don't feel like I want to be the person I was before on stage. I don't want to be that again.
Yeah.
I want to have more fun with it. And
I hear that.
And we did. We had a lot. It was just a different experience overall. But there was a story I've told before about, one question that people ask bands in general is like, who are you? And I remember that question being asked to Hollow Days once, who are you? And there was a story about we were going back to that club in Orlando, Lost and Found.
Okay.
And we had our friend Jonathan, who was our unofficial roadie, and Joe was trying to make out with his girlfriend the whole time.
That's his tradition.
And we were drinking beers the whole ride down to the venue, and we rolled into the venue rather, and Joe walks in with a beer in his hand, and there's this gigantic dude standing in front of the door, and he looks at Joe and he goes, "Hey, you can't bring that in here." And Joe looks at the beer, looks at the guy, and he just slams the beer. Slams it down on the counter and looks the guy in the eye and says, "We're Hollow Days." And I was like, that's who the fuck we are. Because that was rock and roll right there. Fuck you. That's who we are. But
And then he
that
missed
was
every note.
I've seen that guy. So drunk on fucking stage
Yeah.
that he fell into the crowd, and the crowd pushed him backwards, and he never missed a fucking note.
At least he
It
didn't
was
face
insane.
Wonderful.
It was insane. Huh?
I said at least he didn't face plant. And the crowd was there to
They
say.
just all scooped out of the way.
It was insane.
Face first on the ground, still hitting every note.
Ah.
Yeah, I think we're all too goofy to take ourselves seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I try my best to bridge the gap between shows and stuff by posting the stupidest internet memes.
That's the
and,
best.
Yeah.
Just
He's
dumb
the
videos.
best. I follow him.
He's a meme
I
master.
follow his
This
ass
guy
on
is so funny.
Instagram, on the gram. That's right. I get all those fucking memes. They're badass.
There you go.
Man, you'll send us a bulk, just you'll be on lunch break or whatever and just make 16 or 17 of these.
Yeah.
And every one of them's gold. Love them.
Stockpiles.
Yeah, so jealous.
I gotta follow you on Instagram. That sounds awesome.
Rockstar Andy.
I think
G.
I only like follow like 3 people on Instagram, and I don't think
You
I've
don't
ever.
know how to Instagram.
I don't. I really don't.
We've been through this.
But if I get a
He
notification,
barely knows how to
that he posted-
Facebook.
I had to learn
That's
how
true.
to Twitter. My friends got me into it. And
Don't even get me started on Twitter.
They literally told me after the second day, Andy, you're using Twitter wrong. What? It's like, what does that mean? And they're like, you're posting too many like pictures, and you're treating it like, it's not just a stream of consciousness of whatever random thought enters your head. That's not serious. And I was like, oh, okay. So then the next day, you post something just totally innocuous about like, some random thought like, oh geez, what if spiders just started coming out of the shower head? And like apparently that's how you're supposed to use Twitter and not post like selfies and shit like you do on
I think
Instagram,
social
Facebook.
media is gonna be the fucking death of us. I'm telling you. I swear to God, it's terrible. It's terrible. You can't read just text and really get what people are saying.
Yeah, you lose a lot of the nuance.
I think I'm telling you, I'm ready to get off. 100%. Just if it wasn't for the goddamn podcast,
Yeah.
I would have been done with it months ago. I'm
Yes.
just so sick of
Yeah.
it because nothing you say on there, is taken as it's meant, as it's intended. I find,
Yeah, it's just a void.
everything's just people read it, they take it how the fuck they want to, and it's just vile half the time.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
I just use it for
Sick of
band, really. Like
Yeah.
that's about it. Just
Yeah.
band stuff, and then
I think
like
more and more people are
events.
doing that, man.
Yeah,
just sort of
events.
stepping away. I'm gonna make a
Yeah.
fake account just for the Porchville page and just get rid of it. Fuck it.
There you go.
I'm just tired of it.
No, totally. It's just too many people screaming into their own echo chambers about whatever they've been
Yeah.
told by whatever source.
Yeah.
Wait, did you
It's
say
taxing.
something about spiders coming out of the shower head?
Yeah,
Why would you do something like that?
exactly.
Now I'm going to be thinking about that.
Exactly. Tomorrow morning. Well,
I
okay.
love how this guy's like 3 minutes behind us.
But just honing in on the important shit. I mean,
No, I was just trying not to think about it, but it's stuck in my head, and I was
Normally,
trying to
I'm the
pretend
one
it
who
didn't
says
happen.
that shit, and I'm so glad somebody else picked it up. I was like, why is he so behind us? No, I'm just gonna let it go this time.
Hold up, arachnids.
Somebody else got you though. You
I-
late fuck.
It just didn't get out of my head. I was trying to get it out of my head. It took me 3
It
minutes.
took
to
you
get
that
it off.
long.
The
It took you that long?
servers froze.
No, it's still stuck. It's still stuck right there. And now I'm gonna have nightmares for like the next 7.5 months.
I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna give you better nightmares.
like somebody's gonna get pregnant at the time
What
that
the
I
fuck?
actually like get that out of my head.
You're not foreshadowing
What?
tonight.
Funny story. When I was a kid, we
I
had
wish.
this. There was a pool next to our apartments, and me and my friend were sitting over there, and there's a set of bathrooms over there. We keep hearing what sounds like a faucet turning on and then off, and on and then off. Okay. And we start psyching each other out. He kicked my ass because he's a much better storyteller. But he's like, what if it's like a dead girl just been murdered and it's her fucking corpse trying to signal that she needs help or something, and he'd be like, turn the water on if you need help. And then it'd fucking come on. I was like, you son of a bitch. He kept this shit up, and at some point he says because I had a skylight in my bedroom, and he's like, yeah, you're gonna be laying there in bed and you're gonna look up at that skylight, and she's gonna be like, blah! Right over the skylight. I laid in fucking bed for 3 days before I could go to sleep. That pissed me off. To this day, anytime I think about it, it keeps me awake just a little bit longer.
Dude, that's seriously what he just did to me.
Yeah.
Now I'm
it's
gonna be
fucked.
thinking about spiders coming out of my shower head.
Yeah, well, also think about a dead girl in the skylight.
Well, luckily I don't have a skylight.
Oh, well. I hope a
But now I'm
tree
just gonna
falls
think of
through
a.
your fucking roof and you get a skylight.
Well, now I'm thinking that there's just gonna be a dead girl just standing in my bedroom, and now, oh my god, this is going into a
What are you
really
doing to
weird
yourself,
spiral.
man?
Oh my god, oh my god.
Don't combine the two, spiders.
Oh,
and-
it's too late. It's there.
man.
It's,
Things just got weird.
it's out there.
Sounds like the next Rob Zombie movie.
Oh.
Did you like the Halloween remakes?
I did not see the Halloween
You didn't see him
remakes.
at all?
No, I have a very low bar for remakes. Like I said, we had a song based on The Thing. I did like the
Yeah.
Thing remake. It was.
Did
No,
you see the Halloween 2 that John Carpenter did? Anybody? See that one? It was fucking amazing. It was like the follow-up to the original one.
Yeah, seen that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The one where he's in like in the mental hospital and he's been there and all of the other sequels never happened.
Is this the
Retcon.
It's not a remake. It's like
No,
just-
it's part 2 essentially.
okay.
Like
yeah.
so John Carpenter did part 1 and then he did part 2 and part 3 and then he actually stopped after that, but part 3 was not a Halloween, it was not a Michael Myers movie. It was just it was the one where they did the Season of the Witch. It was all about masks and shit.
Oh, okay.
All these kids across the country, they wanted them to wear the same masks, and then on Halloween at like a certain time, they'd all watch the TV and it'd melt their faces off. That movie flopped, so he went back to Michael Myers. But
There you go.
basically, what John Carpenter did just a couple years ago is he made a sequel to Halloween 1, and this was his sequel, and it basically invalidated everything after the original number 1.
Yeah.
This was his
You guys just
direct
retconned
sequel to that.
everything.
Basically the story goes, Michael Myers falls out the window after Loomis shoots him, lays in the front yard, gets up, runs away, and gets arrested and spends the rest of his fucking days in a mental ward. That's it.
Simple.
He's a real dude. He's a real fucking guy. At one point, he gets shot in the movie in the hand, blew his fingers off, like gone. So that's what he was trying to do, was sort of say, no, this is just a real dude. It's a real guy.
Yeah.
It's not this
Yeah, humanized.
this monster that has been created over the years,
Mhm.
and at the end, he killed him, theoretically.
Oh, theoretically, was it off
Yeah.
screen?
But then, what's the guys who did all the Saw movies? Blumhouse?
Blumhouse.
Blumhouse?
Yeah, Productions. Yeah.
They took it over and made like 2 sequels to it.
Oh,
So it's like, so I guess he didn't. Who knows?
he didn't
Yeah.
die enough to not make more money. Basically.
There's always money. If there's money left on the table, they're gonna fucking do it.
Exactly.
What's the best one though? Out of all the movies,
I like the Rob
Michael
Zombie.
Myers. No, I'm saying like best serial killer. Michael Myers,
Oh.
Ooh.
Jason, Freddy, all that shit. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite, Matt?
Oh man, it's gonna be tough because I actually was just scrolling through streaming services yesterday, and the movie Freddy vs. Jason came up. I was like, man, that is such a good fucking movie. Have you guys seen Freddy vs. Jason?
I have not.
I saw
Don't-
it ages ago when it like first
Don't.
came
It
out.
wasn't that
It's
great.
one of the funniest movies I've ever
Oh,
seen
it
in
was
my
terrible.
entire life.
It was
Like so
terrible.
bad,
But
it's
in
funny.
a hilarious way.
It was
It
terrible.
was so
Those are the best.
good.
Those are the best.
Polish that off, man. Polish it off.
I think
Rock and roll.
Freddy's pretty awesome though. Just the whole like ethereal aspect that you can throw in with the dreams and everything makes
That
it
is
so
pretty
much
dope.
cooler.
It does add a new layer.
Yeah.
But Michael Myers was always mine because I always felt like that had the most ability to be real, which was also why I liked the John Carpenter follow-up, because it essentially was a real thing. Like that guy just broke out of a psych ward
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
fucking murdered people. So the idea of that just scared the shit out of me. It was like, I know this fucking Freddy Krueger guy ain't real. But I did push my bed up against my closet
Yeah.
for 3 years after I
Yeah.
saw
Right.
Dream Warriors, I think it was, part
Be your
3.
neighbor.
I was swore that he was in my closet, so could be the neighbor. That's fucking.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes it real because you're like, shit, that could be anybody. That could literally be my neighbor.
Oh yeah, yeah. So Michael Myers resonated most with me.
I will say, whenever I was a kid, the first Saw movie really blew my mind.
Yeah. See, you're a little younger than
Yeah.
I. How old are you?
29.
29.
Doll.
That hurt, man. That hurt.
So yeah, I was a kid whenever that first Saw movie came out, and
Yeah.
that was really cool.
Yeah. I never got into the Saw movies.
I
was-
never watched like the sequels,
Yeah.
but that first one, yeah.
I was never much for the gore. It didn't
Oh,
really
okay.
do it for me.
Okay.
You know.
I did not enjoy watching Carrie Elway's chopping his foot off.
Yeah, for me, it's a Princess Bride kind of thing.
Yeah.
With
Princess
with-
Bride,
I
Men in Tights.
love-
Oh,
Men in
yeah.
Tights.
Yeah.
Tights.
That's a fucking
Tights.
classic.
Tights. Yeah, watching him cut his foot off,
I'm
screaming his head
drowning
off.
when he falls into fucking. Oh, it's-
It's funny.
Rolls a
I've
roll.
seen Saw. I saw Saw first before I knew any of those movies, so that's my first introduction to him. So
man.
like seeing all his other movies is
Yeah, see, I watched Saw and I was like, Carrie Elwes, what the fuck? The claw, the claw's
Yeah, right,
coming
right.
for you. Like,
Oh,
that's-
from
like,
Liar,
yeah,
Liar.
liar,
yeah,
liar.
liar, liar.
Yep.
The claw.
So yeah, that was a little weird for me, but,
Yeah.
but I can imagine it being really strange the other way too.
I was always more into like sci-fi horror.
Sci-fi
Yeah.
horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Me too.
Jason X.
Oh God.
That was
In
such a good
space.
movie.
That's right.
That was such a
That was in
great
space,
movie.
wasn't it?
And then
Was
it
it-
goes
was-
into like the VR room where like they're actually at the lake.
Was it a good movie though? Really?
No, but that's what makes it good.
So bad it was good.
That's why I like Jason vs. Freddy. That was so good.
I prefer when they're intentionally like bad, you know, like Zombievers or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's just total tongue in cheek.
Sharknado kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Would you guys watch the Sharknados?
No.
No?
No.
Me neither. But
I
I heard they're fucking great.
I started once. I got like 20 minutes into it, and I was just like, I'm just gonna watch Bill and Ted or something. I can't-
You know they're coming out with a
Speaking
third
of
one.
remakes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're coming out with a third one.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And you know what? It's sort of
that was a
it's sort
good
of funny.
segue. Did I just get a good segue?
Well, you did,
And then I
until
ruined
you-
it until
you
I
fucked
talked
it up
about
there.
it.
But
Yeah.
it's also cool because the Bill and Ted thing, and I did want to mention this actually, so I'm glad that you segued into it.
You're welcome.
I'm excited for this movie to come out because I think it actually says exactly what we fucking need right now, which is just be excellent to each other. That just resonates with me a lot. So,
have you seen the poster for it?
yeah.
Yeah, they did that weird like de-aging thing to Keanu Reeves where he looks like Tony Wassell now. Like,
They all he did was shave. It's
Tommy.
weird. He shaved his fucking beard off. See, that's why I don't do that. Because I don't know what I'll look like anymore. It's totally changed in like 10 years, I'm sure. I don't know what's under there anymore.
How long have you been growing that thing for, man?
right?
Well, I got married in 2006. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Don't
I'll
ask
take
me,
your word
man.
for it.
Nobody, not like
Careful now.
anybody here knows.
Careful.
2006, and I had a beard in 2006. So, yeah, 14 years
Wow.
on and off. But, I mean, I've shaved it off, but, you know, here and there. Not for a very long time, though.
I was gonna say
So.
I shave off this sorry excuse for a goatee, and I look like I'm 12.
Yeah, I was going to say, you still get carded for beer, don't you?
As recently as last year, yes.
Son of a bitch. Jesus. I don't get carded for beer with a fucking mask on, okay? That's how bad it is for me.
Dude,
That's
did.
how old I look.
You see the gray hairs poking out.
Exactly.
Of the
Like,
mask.
oh, this fucking guy.
Dude, I just got turned out of the store just today.
For not having an ID?
Well, no, I have my ID, but because it was just my birthday, I didn't realize it, but my ID expired.
Oh no.
You got to stay up on those things.
Well, I didn't think about it.
I had a gas
I mean,
station.
it's been how many years? Like,
Yeah,
that
but wait. More importantly, the lady at the gas station wouldn't sell you cigarettes because your fucking ID was expired?
yeah,
That's a little weird.
yeah,
I didn't know they had such high standards.
yeah. Well, it wasn't even beer. It was a twist. It was 2 twisted teas, like one of the hard twisted teas, and some cigarettes.
I think maybe we should talk about why you're drinking twisted teas. you fucking
I remember.
That was-
put a goddamn shot in some tea like a man.
I remember
That
my
was-
first
that
beer.
was-
Fuck.
Hey, the man likes what he likes.
Well, all right. Number
Do
one.
you wash it down with a Smirnoff or
Yeah.
what?
No, Mike's hard.
No.
White Claw,
Dude.
man. White Claw.
He does drink White Claws. He likes the fucking pomegranate White Claws.
That shit's fantastic, all right?
Oh, is it? Are you a fan?
I will drink a White Claw with no
Oh
shame
my
whatsoever.
God.
That stuff is delicious.
Yeah, I will have one or two. They're refreshing and they're light. That's fine. But any
One
more
or
than
two?
that,
I've seen you drink 12 of them fucks.
No,
Who
you
are you
haven't.
kidding?
You have never seen me drink 12 of them fucks. You want to see me drink 12 of them?
Yes, I do.
I'll put down 12 of them.
New challenge.
Do you want that to be like next week's episode?
Next week is Carl Oliver from the Twisted Dragon Forge right here in Gainesville, Florida. He makes his own blades. He was actually on Forged in Fire on the History Channel.
That's pretty
Cool.
metal.
Kind of dope. Reed's going to be back
nice.
to join us for it, too.
So you guys will be talking about knives and blades, and I'm gonna be over here slamming down 12 White Claws.
Sounds safe.
Should we do that? I think we should, especially if he brings knives. Because they're probably going to be real sharp.
Yeah, that seems like.
And
a
I can
really
hear
good
you
idea.
now. Oh, no, it's not that bad.
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
it's just a little. It's just a little blood.
It's
just.
going to be fine.
I just did a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
You're required to open every one with one of the blades.
I like that
The
How
idea.
sharp
The
they are.
biggest, most dangerous one that he has.
I like that idea.
It's like, can I just like open this with one swipe?
Claymore.
I hope he brings some. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
I don't think he's gonna let you open beers with. Well, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call Truly's beers. He's not gonna let you open those fucking Trulies with his badass knives, though.
Well, it should probably open a Truly pretty easily because they're kind of weak.
Why are you looking at my fucking eyes, man?
I was just waiting to see if that.
I got nothing.
I was just waiting to
I
see
got
if
nothing.
that
I got
horrible
nothing.
joke would resonate with
Oh
anybody.
my god. Anyways, guys, when can we hear more from Apex? When's that going to happen? Whether it's another streaming show or we're going to put out some material, like what's happening? When are we going to hear from you guys?
So
mean-
August 5th. Sorry, August
Shoot it.
15th at High Dive.
August 15th
Yeah.
at the High Dive.
Another
And
live.
that's a streaming show.
Yes.
Where do people go? Obviously, they could go check out High Dive on Facebook and all that stuff. Is there a specific site? You mentioned it earlier, maybe?
Yeah, so apexbandmusic.com is our website.
So Noon Chorus is the website that the show will be run on.
Correct. Yeah,
Noon
Noon Chorus is the noonchorus.com. NOONCHORUS.
You can also get there directly from like the Facebook event because it's still a ticketed event because
Yep.
the
Yeah.
idea is to raise money to help out High Dive. So you have to click on purchase a ticket in order to gain access to the actual live stream itself.
Right.
And it's like $6, and all the money goes to High Dive.
We're gonna make sure that when that happens, you guys let us know. We're gonna post it on our site. I'll contact folks out at Hellfire. Maybe they can help out and help
Absolutely.
spread that word because they've got a pretty big reach. And there's a lot of people that listen to that site that would 100% dig what you guys are doing.
Great.
Awesome.
That
And
kind
it'll
of
help
music is
High
right
Dive,
in that
too.
alley.
Yeah.
And it'll help out the High Dive.
Yeah.
And Pat's good people, man. I really hope. The High Dive was our home for a long time. You know, I don't want to see that place go under by
Absolutely
any means.
not,
And
yeah.
Dude, back
So
when it
many
was
shows.
Common Grounds and like
Oh.
under other names, I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much history, so
Common
many
Grounds.
memories
What was,
there.
what was it before Common Grounds? Was it? It wasn't the dish before Common Grounds.
I mean, I knew it as Common Grounds. That was the first iteration that I remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I
Okay.
didn't go out a lot before I started playing
Yeah.
in a band. Actually,
Well, I know at one point it was the covered dish, and then I think once Common Grounds moved off University and that became 1982, it was Common Grounds for a good while.
Yeah.
And then Pat and Mo took it over,
Mhm.
and it turned into the Double Down.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah.
Didn't
right?
work.
Double Down. It was like that for a hot minute. And then,
Yeah, and then they I guess they got like a cease and desist or some shit because somebody out in Vegas has the name Double Down on a bar or something, and so then they changed it to the High Dive.
I mean, just think of how many like awesome bands we've seen. Not just obviously
Oh.
like playing there, but like
Dude.
like Buckethead and Chris
Yes.
Broderick and
Yes.
Fozzy.
Seven Dust.
We played with Fozzy over
Yeah.
there.
Fozzy. Yeah, forgot about that.
We played with Trapped too.
They just had their
Yeah,
big 300.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that too loud. I might go back and edit that out even. But yeah, no, we played with Trapped over there. We played with
What was that other big band?
Texas Hippie Coalition.
Yeah,
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of fun.
What was that band that they had like 7 people on stage? All of them had like
Andrew
huge,
WK
long hair.
played there.
Yeah, he
I
did.
watched them.
Joe's gonna fucking kill me because there was another
Seven Dust.
Who was
it?
POD.
What was that band? It was
Oh, Pop Evil.
Pop Evil.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a killer
Yeah,
show.
we played with those guys.
I still
That was
got those
fun.
ticket stubs hanging on my fridge.
That was a good show.
That was a
good-
killer
that was-
show.
Yeah, yeah. We sold a lot of tickets to that show, I believe.
I think Under Oath is playing there next week.
Yeah, there's like a
Like three
three
shows, to benefit,
streaming
yeah.
events from Under Oath.
Oh,
That's
Afro
pretty
Man
dope.
used to play there all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Yin Yang twins.
It's
Little
been
of that.
there's been so much history on that stage. You know, even not just in the period of time that it's been the high dive, but I mean,
Yeah.
from all the iterations before that.
Yeah.
And I just really hope that this place pulls through. You know, so I think it's awesome that you guys are doing the streaming shows. We're gonna share it, get as many people in to view that as we can, and help save the goddamn stages, man.
Yeah, man.
Any
Hell yeah.
parting thoughts of wisdom?
Oh man.
Wisdom from us is a lot of pressure.
Just
Too much thought.
try not to take things too seriously. Calm down in this tough times, and reach out for help for all the support that you need
Yeah,
with all your friends and family.
Absolutely.
That's really big nowadays. And
Find something that you love to do.
Yeah.
Find people you love to be with. I mean, like we were saying throughout this entire thing, it's like what's keeping us sane right now.
Yeah.
It's like you got the podcast, we got the music. We get a chance to spend time with each other and hang out. It's like it's a shit time in many ways, but at the same time, we're all still here, right?
Yeah.
Still trying to take it a day at a time and do what you enjoy with
Yeah.
whatever time you get.
yeah,
Despite all the shit, I mean, there's still a lot of things that have come out of this. A lot of good that has come out of this.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are connecting again on a different level. I
Mhm.
think a lot of people rediscovering family. That
Definitely.
and that time that they spend with each other. And that's not terrible.
No.
Worst things can happen.
yeah.
What about you, Andy? Anything to say?
I think
on
it's
the
just
way out?
important to enjoy the nuance of life. Everything's not always so divisive and black and white. We do live in a world of shades of gray. So try not to, like Joseph was saying, try not to take everything seriously. Consider everybody's perspective when it comes to absolutely anything you do, and just try to be a good person. Period.
Yeah. Try to have fun doing it too.
And buy a Corvette.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does help.
Just a Corvette.
I might be able to hear it if I start it from here.
I'll start my diesel from here. We'll see which one. We'll
Oh,
see which
jeez.
one's louder.
No, yeah. Can't compete with it.
Websites. What's the website? Where can people find you?
ApexBandGainesville.com.
ApexBandGainesville.com.
Yep, we're on Facebook, Instagram.
And we're going to share all that, of course, in the show notes to make sure that you can get out there and find Apex. Guys, this has been fun. I know it was a little rough there at spots from my blacking out for a moment. It's been a long day. We're amateurs.
It's
We
all
don't do this
good.
for a living, goddammit.
Hey, it's been a long ass
But it's been a long ass week. It's in a long ass month and a long ass year. But there's more to come. So keep going over there to Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter, and hit that subscribe button. Follow us on YouTube. For those who don't know, we are uploading a old episode every week when we upload a new episode. So pretty much you're getting a 2-for-1 deal every week. So get over there to YouTube. Porchville Pod is the channel. Again, thank you, Andy, Christian, Joseph,
Thank you.
Kyle.
Thank
Matt.
you guys.
It's been a pleasure. Again, episode 39.
Hell yeah.
We're 40 next week. We love you. PorchvillePod.com. Check it out. Bye-bye.